It was the very first day of school for Joanne, who had just moved to Sunset Elementary School, and she had not yet made any friends. She was okay with being by herself and was in no hurry to make new friends, because she knew that in 6 months, when her dad was moved to a new military base, she would have to say goodbye to anyone she made friends with. That's why when recess came around, she decided that she would spend her time reading her favorite story by the Brothers Grimm, Little Red Riding Hood. Joanne sat under a shady tree, opened up her book, and began to read aloud. "Oh, what big ears you have, Grandma!" "The better to hear you with, my dear," read Joanne. "Hey, I know that story," shouted a little girl from behind a tree. "That's Lompopo." "Lopo what?" Joanne called back. "Lompopo, the Chinese story where the wolf pretends to be the grandma so that he can eat the little children," explained the little girl. "No, sorry, this is Little Red Riding Hood by the Brothers Grimm. It's my favorite, and it's about a little girl with a red cape who goes to her grandma's house, and there is a wolf pretending to be her grandma," corrected Joanne. "Well, that's what I said. It's the same story because there's a wolf, and he pretends to be the grandma," asserted the little girl. "Hi, I'm Yu Yin, by the way. You're Joanne, right? The new girl?" "I'm new too. I started just 2 days ago." "You did?" "Well, I'm always the new girl. I move around a lot," Joanne told Yu Yin. "Me too," said Yu Yin. "My dad is in the Navy." "Army for me," sighed Joanne. The bell rang and recess was over. The girls began to walk into their classroom. "Well, anyway, this is not Lompopo. This is the Little Red Riding Hood," said Joanne. At lunch, Yu Yin ran up to Joanne holding a big red book. "Joanne, look! This is Lompopo. I want to show it to you." The girls went to sit under the same big tree from before, both with books now. They began to look at them side by side. "See," Joanne said, "just by looking at these books you can tell that they're not the same. They have different illustrations, different authors, and even different characters." The girls kept reading. "But they both have a wolf who pretends to be a grandmother," reassured Yu Yin. "They both have little children in danger, and they both teach you not to talk to strangers." Joanne began to consider what Yu Yin was saying. The stories did have a lot in common, but there were also differences. In Lompopo, there are 3 little children, and in Little Red Riding Hood there is only 1, pointed out Joanne. Plus, in the Little Red Riding Hood, the wolf is already in her grandmother's house, and in Lompopo, the wolf is outside and then comes in. Yu Yin agreed with Joanne. The girls were stumped. How could these stories be so similar, yet so different? After a long silence, Yu Yin spoke. "What if these stories are like you and me, Joanne? We have many things in common, like moving around and having fathers in the military, yet we are also different in many ways. Your father is in the Army, and mine in the Navy." "Oh yeah," said Joanne. "We're like 2 versions of the same story." The girls then spent the rest of their recess finding things that they had in common and things that were different. Neither one expected to make friends so quickly at their new school, but because of 2 versions of the same story, they came together and became very good friends.